One last thing to note about the media in current times is that it is undergoing a crisis of public confidence. Since the advent of professional public opinion polling, never has the public expressed more skepticism about the media than it does today. As with most major institutions in American society, the public has shown decreased trust in the mass media in recent years, with only 32% of Americans in 2016 saying they had a great deal or fair amount of confidence in the media to report the news fully, accurately, and fairly. This is a troubling development. The media is supposed to be one of the primary guardians of the public interest, yet the bond between the public and the press has clearly been broken. Well, maybe the public's just lost faith in those old school mass media sources because they've found better sources online, right? Well, not exactly. Americans give even lower marks to news on social media than they do to news through traditional media outlets. Only a minority of social media news consumers say that social media has helped them better understand current events. And Americans rank national and local news organizations, as well as friends and family, as much more trustworthy sources of information than social media. So we're caught in the uncomfortable position of the traditional news sources having fallen out of favor with the American public, but the most rapidly emerging new sources of news faring even worse. This is a troublesome state of affairs, to say the least. I should note that it's not that Americans distrust all news sources. Many Americans find a source, or a handful of sources, that they trust even though they view the media in general as untrustworthy. Unfortunately, Americans can't seem to agree about which sources are the trustworthy ones. Generally speaking, liberals tend to have greater trust in news sources overall and congregate around a cluster of different outlets as their major sources of news. Conversely, conservatives are more distrustful of the news media overall, leading more of them to find a safe harbor in Fox News. I'm probably not making a startling revelation to you all, but the presentation of news on CNN or MSNBC is starkly different to the presentation of news on Fox News. As people of different political persuasions increasingly retreat to their own media bubbles, it becomes harder and harder to engage in constructive political dialogue from a common basis of understanding.